activities from up Capitol Hill, making Liberians to hear and know what their lawmakers are doing in the best interest of this country called Liberia. This program is on ELBC 99.9, several other country. A repeat of the program comes on every Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. on 87.7 Radio Famiton. It is being produced and presented by the House Press and Public Affairs Bureau. This program features reports from the House's committee meetings with in-depth interviews and analysis about the country's legislative process. Today is Thursday, it's December 21, 2023. It is the fifth. It is the 355 days in the year. We are left with 10 more days to close out this year. This is a roundtable discussions that will feature different topics here on the program. Brace yourself. Let's take a few bars of our team song. Sorry for the uh, tricky in of what's occurring. Let's take a few bars of our team song. We're back.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Welcome back. Sorry. Welcome back to the program, wherever you are. Let's hope you invite someone to listen with you on the Houses radio program here on ERBC. Our people in Plibo, Southern District have been tuning into the radio. Far reaches at Grand Creek County and Sando as well. Also, people there are also tuning in. Our people in Maggie County, Radio Famiton, thanks a lot. You're also carrying this broadcast. People in Bon County following, people in Feasible Lofa County, people in Jelitabo, Maryland, people with that in Edanon, Grand Bassa County, all of you with in Grand Judy County will still bereave the homegoing of this process of Grand Judy County on Era Malison Wian. During the week, it remains was brought to the country from Accra, Ghana. We'll also give you the proceeding as relates to his homegoing. Yeah, we're back here on the program. Good evening.
Yes, good evening again, Director Haynes. Good evening to all of you who are listening to your program. We are here again. And of course, it's going to be, this edition is going to be one of those editions that will take us to the Christmas. And so we'd like to extend our best wishes, our best felicitation to all of you.
Take here on the program today to look at ahead of the Christmas. We're hoping that too many things happening. Some today, some group of legislative reporters surprised House Speaker Dr. Buford Chambers in what is return as termed as a heartwarming and unexpected gesture of some group of delegated reporters covering the House of Representatives today, December 21, surprised the Speaker, Dr. Buford Chima, with a special Christmas gift. And the reporters presented to the Speaker roses as a token of appreciation for his selfless service to our nation, Liberia, and his significant role in building the profile and maintaining the stability in the Liberian legislature since 2018, January 15, up to today's date. And so they saw that and they today presented roses to the Speaker, commending him. And so he, in response, expressed his heartfelt appreciation for the unexpected gift, Christmas gift from the reporters. He commended them for their diligence and dedicated work they continue to do by informing the public and looking at the crucial role the media play in promoting transparency and accountability in the democratic space of our country. Yeah,
Of course, Christmas is the time of giving, the most precious gifts of all, being in love and care. And so I think is one of such that members of the legislative reporters have thought to reach out to the honorary speaker. You know, sometimes when you're working with people, you don't understand to what extent that they ought to be appreciated. And when you have the festive season is here, it is always important to reach out to people. This is the time, just beyond the gesture of the legislative reporters. Again, we can also say that this is the time, whoever you have some issues with relatives or some individuals in society, this is the best time to foster genuine peace and reconciliation because, like the Christians will say, they commemorate Jesus Christ. And of course, you know, when you talk about Christ who, then you're talking about loving each other. So we'd like to say thanks to those like-minded legislative reporters for thinking about the honorary speaker. I know it cut across because the fact that the honorary speaker is the speaker of the 54th legislature, reaching out to him signals that, of course, all of the members of the 54th legislature are definitely incarcerated because he is the shining pillar and first among equals of his colleagues on Capitol Hill. So, words of commendation to members of the legislative reporters, those of you like Mane, who had to think about the honorary speaker and, of course, carried to him gifts. You know, it's pleasant, and it's often said that little is much when Christ is in it, and this is the festive season commemorating Christ who is a major that all of us will talk about. So I think we can also encourage the public to emulate such because when you have these occasions, the festive season here, then we have to put aside our differences and unite for the common good of Christ who.
and this is not the first time. The last time, I think a week ago, saw a group of young people, kids from the school way there in Nashville, from they came over at the legislature to bring a gift to the speaker and to tell him thank you for his service to our country. And they sang a lot of Christmas carols there. The speaker was astonished to see those young kids coming as far from Nashville, going over at the legislature to present him gift.
Obviously, you know, one would say, if not, but this is the first time that you have, people reach out to leaders. Unlike the festive season, you always have the ordinary people, or you have the public think that the leaders should reach out to them. So it's becoming much more vice versa in the
Right,
process,
right.
where people are reaching out to their leaders and the leaders are also reaching out to them. So it's interesting because we are talking about Quest Who and to commemorate the festive season. This is just one of such. The kids were so amazing because I was at that occasion when they spoke. Look, the brought joy to my mind, understanding the necessity of Christmas, and the speaker was much more surprised that the kids will think about him. We're talking about children between the ages 4, 5, 7, 8. And those were kids who turned her and said, "We've been thinking about you, honorary speaker, and the members of the legislature. We want to thank you for the laws you're passing here. We want to thank you for all that you continue to do to protect the rights of children in Liberia. So we've come today." Not with what others will think to bring you gold and diamond, but we've come here with this in appreciation of what you've done to protect the rights of children in Liberia as the legislature. And he was like, wow, the children, how are they monitoring? But then he got reminded that the radio is on. They will listen to the news and say, the legislature, specifically the Honorable House of Representatives, has enacted this law. And this law is going to ensure that the parents will benefit, from job employment, or of course there will be security for the country in its totality. Because the last time we talked about how Liberia will conform to international standards in terms of maintaining peace, and so yes, the peace were amazed that when we talk about peace, the maintenance of peace, and the speaker is speaking that let's end the war in Gaza. Let's ensure that there is peace in Israel. Let's ensure that there is peace globally. Then they are reminded of Quest 2 because Quest 2 talks about peace.
Exactly. So yeah, this week as well, we're back. We are still up Capitol Hill. The president of Liberia, His Excellency President Dr. George Weah, has written the legislature, specifically the House, to request 10 working days for the budget to be looked at. And so finally, like in the words of Yega, he was better late than never. And so the budget was being submitted by the executive and the deputy minister for budget at the Ministry of Finance. She submitted the budget uh, to the House Speaker, Victor Buffer Chambers. And so though it taking sufficient time, so the Press and Public Affairs Bureau have a report on the submission aspect of the country's draft national development envelope, which is the budget. And so the speaker was being very clear and talk about how the budget uh, should be able to touch the lives of Nigerians from different parts of the country. So it's just not a Morovia-based budget, so that the people from all over the 15 counties can be felt. So let's get that from the House Press and Public Affairs Bureau, the submission of the budget or report.
And members of the House of Representatives, pursuant to Section 17(1) of the Public Financial Management Act, I am pleased to submit to the 54th National Legislature of the Republic of Liberia the draft national budget for the fiscal year 2024, covering the period January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. I use this opportunity to extend sincere apologies for the delayed transmission attributed primarily to the national preoccupation and distraction associated with the very competitive elections. This submission, the last for this administration, encompasses estimates of revenue and expenditures that were developed after careful consideration and analysis of the revenue envelope, our non-discretionary obligations, and the realistic needs of the government. Honorable Speaker and members of the House of Representatives, while this budget is a reflection of the programs and priorities of the outgoing administration, it should not be unexpected that the incoming administration may institute measures to adjust, recalibrate, or even recast the programs and priorities herein to indicate policy change in line with their strategic agenda, hopefully within the spirit of continuity in governance. In the wake of mounting pressures, especially the national debt burden and recurrent expenditures, only critical national programs and projects in three sectors have been proposed under the Public Investment Program segment of the budget. Among these is the National Road Fund under the Infrastructure and Basic Services sector. The total resource envelope for the period is $625.57 million US dollars. Of this amount, 623.14 or 99% is projected as domestic revenue, while the amount of 2.43 million or 0.39% is projected to come from external resources. The proposed expenditure envelope for fiscal year 24 is therefore 625.57 million in consonance with the projected revenue envelope. The recurrent component of the expenditure is 594.54 million or 95% of the total proposed envelope, while total cost of public sector investment is projected at 31.03 million or 5% of the total proposed expenditure envelope. Recurrent budget. The first claims on the available resources are focused on those obligatory expenditure categories that must be satisfied. In this regard, the amount of 594.54 million earmarked for recurrent expenditures have been allocated guided by the following order of priorities: debt service, both domestic and external, compensation of employees, grants, goods and services for education and health sectors, and others. following is a breakdown of the proposed recurrent expenditure by major economic classifications. Debt service, we have 80.90. Domestic comprises 23.38 million and external 57.52 million. Compensation is 308.3 and goods and services 70.15. Grant to government and non-government service delivery entities is 105.83 million. Subsidies to NGOs complementing the government's effort in strategic service delivery is 3.56. Social benefits, former officials and others, 17.95, and non-financial assets is 7.85 million. The public sector investment projects, which is a combination of a constrained envelope and enormous demand from recurrent expenditures, leaves a very tight fiscal space for the allocation for those purposes. Against that background, more impactful cross-cutting investment programs and projects have been cited. The below table reflects 5 programs within the 3 sectors. Under the municipal sector, we have landfill and sanitation projects of 500 million. Energy and environment, the CLSG allocation of 3 million. Under infrastructure and basic services, we have construction of roads and bridges, 3 million. GOL obligation to CRAM, 2.7 million. And National Road Fund, 21.8 million. Honorable Speaker and members of the House of Representatives, because the submission of this fiscal instrument coincides with a period of changeover in administration, I can only request that you expeditiously deliberate for timely consideration and passage of this budget into law to enable the incoming administration to have an auspicious beginning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues of the proposed legislature, Madam Minister and team, members of the press, I think it goes without saying that there should be an automatic look at the scheduling of the budget process. As you know, and we accept the apology, this instrument should have been brought here 3 months ago, so that we have carefully looked at the process and do due diligence. There is an adage that with obstacles come miracles. Well, I don't know, we reached that threshold, that level of acting miraculously because we have few days to the closing. But I would say that we will do what we can humanly do to perfect this process. We think that, yes, there are issues here, and the legislature, as the body that appropriates, we believe we have to do the needful, that which is serve the people's best interests. I saw here Arias own former legislators, and we have to pay attention to the action of the Supreme Court in a spirit of coordination. The Supreme Court came down for ruling that the government of the Republic of Liberia should pay Arias owed the 53rd legislators. So I think in the spirit of coordination and respect for law, as a country of law, that should be prioritized. And I think whatever the role may lead in enhancing the process in terms of satisfying democratic governance, that will be done by this House. Also, there were issues that had to do with Ivanga, the shipwreck. And this government on the record said that it was going to be responsible to do things. At some point, it was enshrined in the budget, it was encapsulated in the budget. I think also those are priority areas that we should look at because it's a human issue. When someone loses his or her life powerlessly because of necessity, and I will add that in service to country, I think that also should be a collective drive by this government and all well-intentioned people to ensure that those people are catered to. So we'll look at this budget in a sense that it will serve the interests of our people because it should only be an instrument for life-changing. Whatever it is, whatever appropriate that will be needed, if there should be a turnaround to ensure that the budget fulfills its objective foundationally, we'll look at those areas to make it possible for this to happen. But I will go a little further. There have been some gaps and weaknesses in the handling of budget issues as it relates to the Ministry of Finance. I hope the gaps are narrow because those are things that can either make an office more potent, more efficacious, more efficient. If that is not done, then there will be no reason that we have a government. So I want to thank all of you who are painstakingly and rigorously work on this budget for this to come. Though it is late, it is better late than never. But we also want to know that whatever, let us also be mindful, whatever that comes into this government at this time, whether it requires some adjustment, what is received by this government. Is this government's fiduciary responsibility to be the custodian for now and do whatever it is required. Let this government do what it can within its scope. The next government will do what it has to do. And I think it's the basis of continuum and continuity. So we need these things to happen at this time. All said, I want to say thank you so much. And we have been waiting and waiting. And now it has arrived. And today we'll be convening so that the essence of the extension can be as
Mr. Speaker, Dr. Bob Chambers receiving the country's draft national development and the budget. It was earlier being presented by the Deputy Minister for Budget, Honorable Bronson. So she did that. Like you follow, of course, yes, the president wrote for an extension of 10 working days so that the issue of the budget can be able to be looked at. So it is now at the legislature.
Yes, very well. So the draft national budget for 2024 is estimated at 625.57 million United States dollars. And like you rightly said, it's been pursuant to the Constitution that the budget is being submitted because, like you know, Article 43D of the Liberian Constitution talks about all revenue bill, shall begin with the owner house.
Article 34D.
34DI. And so that was submitted to the Honor House of Representatives. But in line with the extension process, because the president had earlier requested an extension, and then we came on to the transparency, of course, extending the duration of the third quarter of the 54th legislature, specifically the sixth sitting of the Honor House of Representatives. And so we are currently with the budget, and the appropriate steps, like the speaker said, will be taken to ensure that the budget is human sensitive. And the speaker stressed two issues, not that they are the most priorities, but of course, there was a ruling from the Supreme Court of Liberia.
That's the constitutional code.
Very well, because when you talk about the separation of powers, you're talking about the three distinct branches of the government. So to talk more of that, the Supreme Court had ruled that the members of the 53rd should be settled in terms of their compensation. So the government was still obligated, and now that the budget has come, the speaker said it's a key priority because there was a ruling already from the Supreme Court, and being respected of the law, they are the lawmakers, and of course they ought to respect the laws, and so in line with such, they will give it due consideration. Then he spoke about the shipwreck situation, the Vanguard shipwreck. You all will record the incident with the WIAC staffers in terms of reaching out with materials for the West African examination, or the WACS currently. And so that incident took place. It took all of us by surprise. And
government took responsibility.
To ensure that the survivors of the incident, we have some compensation. And so the speaker have also said that the budget is going to focus directly. But there are other key areas. The budget will have to cover salaries. It will have to cover other expenditures. Again, the government is continuity. So whatever action the 54th legislation is going to take relative to the budget passage is also incumbent upon the 55th, that is the transitional period now when the next government is going to be seated, to look at whether there's going to be a review, because it must confront to some of the policy issues that they will come forth with, especially the 55th will be seated at that time. Then, of course, they can take any other decision. But for now, it is the prerogative of the 54th legislature to deliberate the draft national budget and come up with a decision.
Definitely. So that is it, because of the amendment done to the Public Financial Management Law. Now that makes Liberia move from a fiscal year to calendar year, and as such, this 54th legislature will have to be able to look at the issue of the budget and then take a decision so that it is effectuated upon its passage. It is effectuated from the first day of January to the 31st of December 2024, God's willing. So, yes, that is about it. And so the budget is before the people's deputies. They are going to be looking to it if it sends arrived in plenary upon the submission and it has gone to a committee on Ways, Means, and Finance. And they are going to be able to scrutinize. Along the way, we are going to be able to give you the steps leading to the discussion on the budget. Today was the 13th day sitting of the third quarter of the sixth section of the Honorable House of Representatives. Some decisions have been taken today. House unanimously recall Telecommunication International Alliance, the TIA investment contract. So, in a momentous decision taken today, 13th day sitting of the third quarter of the sixth section of the Honorable House of Representatives, we have members voting unanimously to record the Telecommunication International Alliance, a TIA investment contract. The contract previously passed by the 54th legislature faced scrutiny upon the notice of an alteration, specifically an adjournment to the amendment and restated agreement. The adjournment pertained to the provision of the equipment and training for the monitoring of voice, data, mobile money traffic, and the management of fraud between Teleco International Alliance Incorporated and the Liberia Telecommunications Authority (LTA). The matter was brought to the forefront as the communication regarding the alteration was discussed in plenary, prompting the House to commission an investigation by plenary, and then that went to the Committee on Post and Telecommunications. After thorough consideration and in-depth examination of the circumstances, the House Committee on Post and Telecommunication did a report, and then today plenary endorsed the committee report, leading to a unanimous decision to record the instrument. And they have provided, since the committee provided some recommendations today. So, one, the reinstatement of omitted portion. So there was some portion being omitted from the document upon its passage. All right. So the one that to be reinstated in it, and that is for it to have 5 years. There's some clause there. It should have been 5 years and not 20 years. All right. So the new one, the altercation saw 20 years inserted in it when it's supposed to be 5 years, and it was subject for revision. All right. So the recommendation provided is that the reinstatement of the omitted portion, the committee, after careful review based on laws and facts, resolve that the omitted portion of the agreement as passed by the 54th legislature on October 27, 2022 be included. This portion states that the agreement shall be reviewed after every 5 years instead of 20 years that the finished version was. So after 5 years, it should be subject for revision, with the terms and agreement. Then two, removal of the 20 years. So of course, when you reinstating the 5 year, you must be able to take out the 20 years. So the House recommends the removal of the 20 years clause, which suggests that therefore an extended period in the contractual relation of 20 years will allow the TIA to recoup its investment and be less costly for the LTA in trying to develop monitoring solutions. The decision to record the contract was as a result of a communication that emanated from Honorable Dr. Axel B. Rowland, representative of Maryland County Electoral District Number 3. He emphasized the importance of transparency and accountability in the matter of national significance.
Director Haynes, the Honorary House of Representatives has maintained its grip on transparency and accountability in the Liberian society. So, when the law is being reviewed by the legislature, specifically the Honorary House of Representatives, and there is any point that people think they will write something different from what the decision of plenary is,
Mm.
the Honorary House of Representatives is always prepared to ensure that they can dot the I's and cross the T's properly. So this is the point. This law has been before the Honorary House of Representatives. And as spite of making a decision on it, there is a point that the members of the legislature, specifically the Honorary House of Representatives, has understood that there was something contrary to what the decision of plenary was at the time.
Mm.
And so, for instance, plenary took a decision for 5 years in the contract.
Right. That is, after 5 years, it can be reviewed.
It can be reviewed.
Mhm.
Today, we are talking about the law reflecting 20 years.
20 years.
After 20 years,
Somebody inserted that. Who did that? Nobody knows. That's why now these lawmakers are very meticulous.
yes.
When
So-
they take decision, they are very meticulous. And so this was not what we put up.
No,
How come it is? That's why
absolutely.
now they record it.
So the point here now is the lawmaker and plenary have said this law cannot be a law at this point.
Mhm.
We must bring the law back to the full plenary
Right.
to ensure that whatever is the appropriate step, it should be taken before this law can be approved. So now they have recommended that all of what have been embedded into the law, void of plenary's decision, will be corrected. And on the contrary, the law will not be the law as people think it will be. There's no shortcut. When you talk about lawmaking, you're talking about due process that
Exactly.
will involve the stakeholders of the sector,
Mhm.
and they cannot be exempt from such conversation. So, if the lawmakers are ensuring that they will have all parties involved, then there is no point that you
But in the
want to
first
treat
place,
them.
why would the law uh, be authenticated? Why would somebody author something different than what was being passed? And so I know that will be another investigation.
It's going to be an investigation, and those caught will be held liable.
You know. So, but this is it. That's why you see you elected your lawmakers. They are very meticulous. When they take decision, they want to make sure that it affects vast majority of our people. And what is being put out should be what it is.
Yes.
Then something else.
The plenary is the highest decision-making body.
Right.
When plenary takes a decision, you cannot overturn the decision.
And so that's the reason why they have now recorded this instrument. They have communicated now with the Liberian Senate, because this very law we're talking about, this agreement was being passed by the House, sent over to the Senate concurred. So now that the House have now seen this,
That is part of the
altercation.
oversight responsibility of the members of the legislature.
Exactly. And so that's what now they recorded and they communicated now with the Liberian Senate to be able to act. And so this communication is going to come back, and then what is right to be done for the Liberian people will be executed.
And it's just in furtherance to the decision against the Bond County situation in terms of lifting the moratorium that was placed on the account of Bond County. The House believes that there should always be transparency and accountability in the Liberian society. There should be no step that will contravene the laws of this country.
Exactly. So, folks, you're listening to the program today in the House of Representatives. Here on ELBC is being relayed on a host of other community radio stations, inclusive of the Radio Farmington in Magibi County, Voice of Hope in Cleveland, Southern District, Maryland County, right here on ELBC 99.9. My name is Robert Haynes. I'm here along with Terry Hukwa here, guy, and we are bringing you this program and telling you about the activities for Up Capitol Hill as we prepared to see the budget looked at properly, and on the way we will be able to communicate with the public as soon as the Ways, Means and Finance get on the foot running with the issue of the budget. We will definitely be able to inform the public. This is where we are. Shortly before we open the lines here on the program, We will be able to read you out these season greetings coming up from the House Press and Public Affairs Bureau. Warm season greetings to House Speaker Buffalo Chambers, members of the Honorable House of Representatives, and our cherished staff at the Capitol Building. As we approach the end of another remarkable year, the Department of Press and Public Affairs of the Honorable House of Representatives extends heartfelt season greetings to you, Mr. Speaker, esteemed members of the faithful legislature, and our cherished staff at the Capitol Building. May the joy of the festive season bring you warmth to your heart and homes. It is with great, it is with immense gratitude and appreciation that we reflect on the shared dedication and commitment each member of the House of Representatives has exhibited in service to our beloved country. In a spirit of unity and goodwill, we also extend our heartfelt best wishes to His Excellency President Dr. George Weah, President-elect Joseph Yoman Boaka, and Vice President-elect, Vice President of Liberia, Madam Jewel Harvard Taylor, Chief Justice Her Honor CNN Yeo, and the Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate, Albert Tubachie. The leadership has been instrumental in guiding our nation towards progress and prosperity. To our diligent staffers of the legislature, your unwavering support and tireless efforts, waking up as early as 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to get at the legislature to make sure that your buses are ready and those documentations are prepared, contributed significantly to the achievements of this 54th legislature. Your dedication has not gone unnoticed, and we express our gratitude for your hard work. To members of the Fourth Estate, those of you covering the legislature, we want to use this occasion to thank you for your service to our country, making sure that you disseminated the information, whether for or against or bias. We thank you. Finally, we extend our greetings to the entire Liberian populace. May the joy of Christmas and the hope of the new year fill your hearts with happiness and optimism. Let us continue working together to build a brighter and more prosperous future for Liberia. Merry Christmas and a happy 2024 to all of you.
That is part of the legislative politics.
Exactly. So we're going to open the lines here. But I hope that we're going to open the lines. Let's also hope that we do what is just right. But yeah, you see, the thing about it is that it's always good to get our people, the deputies of the people here. Them.
Yes. You know, the people who elected you sent you on Capitol Hill, and you're making the beautiful laws for the governance of this country. When it's appropriate to reach out to the people, then you reach out to them. This is where you see the Honorable House of Representatives is, especially the 54th legislature. They are committed to doing the will of the people. And so, if you're across the country and you're listening to this program, your deputies, they are saying, Merry Christmas to all of you as we all celebrate in a joyous mood. Let's put aside our differences and ensure that we all can make.
Right. So we'll open the lines now to interact with the public. A lot of you are following us. Great time here together. Call us on 0880514096. 0880514096. Let's hope you can call us 0880514096. 077025966 are the numbers to also call us here on the program. Today in the House of Representatives is your legislative program here on ELBC every Thursday.
Let's talk to this caller. Hello, welcome.
Hello, good evening, Robert. Good evening to your co-host there.
Good evening, welcome. Let's hear you. What is your name?
Thank you very much. My name is Bishop Samuel Sompon Say. I'm calling from Brosby.
And it's good to have you on the line. Let's hear you, please.
Thank you. You know, my attention has been drawn to the latest news that just popped up from you fellow in the studio that someone surreptitiously put in a clause and remove another clause from an agreement.
The altercation.
I mean, it is not just only just removing it from there. I think I will appeal to the lawmakers to really investigate, find the perpetrator, and let them pay for that. You cannot treat the people who don't understand. They might say, "Oh, the lawmaker did this." Maybe it might be somebody who just decided to do bad things to the country. Remove 5 years and put in 20 years. That is criminal in nature. And I pray our honorable lawmaker should go beyond not only removing the clause, but also investigating and bringing to book those who involved in that, removal of that clause. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks a
And,
lot.
and you see, the lawmakers are foresighted. They are not just signing papers just because they're out to sign those papers.
Exactly. That's why I mentioned they are very meticulous.
Very well.
This person join us. Hello. How are you sounding like that? Is that how your phone operates?
It's Magic Force.
You get Magic Force. Change the Magic Force. 080514096 Those are the numbers to join us right here on the program today in the House of Representatives. He's very right. The bishop is very right. Yeah. Why will a document pass and then you author it? These are some of the things that used to happen before.
The last time we had one other document around here or altercation.
When laws are being made, where you put must, you go put shall. You see, it means something different completely. Yeah, no, we can be, and then the burden come on the Liberian people. This person, they're like, hello.
Yeah, bro, how you doing?
So very well. Tell us your name, where you call from.
My name is Ekuwame, and I'm calling from the Daphne Township to be Fiscal District.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, first I want to send my thanks to you guys in studio for the new audio session, and also another thanks to the lawmaker for their fight and their on some other issues that one has to do with those white people that were involved in the situation. We pray that the incoming leadership that will control this budget make sure that those families receive what they're supposed to receive. Because it's not easy as a family here to lead a group of behind you and you know with the match. The incoming leadership, we pray that they be able to lead us to that altercation. It's not a first thing in Liberia. It's something that ain't happening.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, it always happen in Liberia, and it's not a good thing at all. People do those things every year in every budget. Let me say this: every year in every budget they do it. After all of them have done what they're supposed to do, we don't know who sent them. Nobody know who is that. After the signing, they go and do their own thing that they have to do, so that that particular area can be their own benefit. These are not good things. We need to start. We need to start those things. So we encourage the incoming lawmaker and the outgoing lawmaker. We say thanks to them as well. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We have to be able to commend the lawmakers for being very meticulous.
Very well.
Because if you
For us, they would have just signed the document and it will be detrimental to the society.
It is subject to
Review in 20 years.
make it
What is
20
that?
years. What are you talking about?
What is that?
0880514
This caller, welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to many Liberians.
Yes, good afternoon.
We say and I do Jerry from my GFO community.
It's good to have you on the line. Let's hear you, please.
Okay, let me first of all appreciate AIBC for this program, and I pray that such a program will continue as we move forward, because it's good for the Liberian people to be informed on the happiness of the House of Representatives.
Okay.
My point is the budget just being read that is presented by the executive. I think the House needs to look at it keenly, because I tend to be corrected. You see that 31 million plus will be for development. It means that 2024 I will not see any massive development in Liberia. Majority of the budget being presented is on goods and services, is on salary, is on debt payment. I think Liberia need to have about 50% of the budget on development, because we have a lot of things to deal with. Real health, education, and so on. There are a lot of things. So I think we need to do our best in terms of the budget moving towards development, the majority of the budget going towards debt and salary.
Okay. All right,
Last, please, educator on the number of districts, please. We also want to know the number of districts per county. So we are not aware how many councils have this district and whatever? People just hear 73 electoral district, and which district the highest they missed, and the total, we don't know.
Okay, we'll take another day or so. Yes, we'll take another day to actually talk about the counties and their districts.
Right. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. But you see, like Masterado County has 17 districts. 17 districts in Masterado County. They have 17 representatives and 2 senators. Grand Crew County has 2 electoral districts, 2 representatives, 2 senators. Riverside County has 2 electoral districts, 2 representatives, 2 senators. Grand Bassa County, 5 electoral districts, 5 representatives, and 2 senators. Yeah, you want to continue with this?
Yeah, I think we'll take a whole day.
Lima County
Another
has
time.
9,
9.
and so they have 9
Nine
representatives.
lawmakers.
No, they have 9 representatives, 2 senators. So
Yes,
they have 11.
at the House of Representatives, the honor house. So
So
9.
yeah, 9 representatives.
And
So it's
two
a lawmakers
senators.
are both a senator and so you see, like Margibi County, Margibi has 5 electoral districts. So they get 5 representatives and they have 2 senators. So like that, simultaneously, when you put all of them together, you have 17 electoral districts.
Yeah, 73 in total.
Yeah, 73. The 74th one, I mean, the chief clerk is the 74th, the deputy chief clerk is 75th, the sergeant at arms is the 76th. For us, we are the 81st. So, but call us 0880514096. So, squeezing 1-2 more calls, and we'll call you there. Here, of course, use your time also to express Merry Christmas to your lawmakers because they're also listening to the program, and they have also said Merry Christmas to their constituents. And it's so very good that we have the platform to speak to you, our people, so that you get to know the happenings on up Capitol Hill. We live in a kind of world now, a participatory democracy, where you have to know what is happening with your leaders. You have to be able to now petition them to take some decision. Like you're now talking about, oh look, we want the budget to be able to, we want a lump sum of funds there for development instead of just goods and services and so forth. Yeah, which is good. This is a participatory democracy we're in. It's important. 0880514096 0770259660. Call us. We'll score 1-2 more, and then we'll call you a day here on the program. Let's hope you tune in. Whatever you're tuning in for, so great to have you.
This caller, welcome to the program. It's so very good to have you on the line. Welcome. Okay, let's try another. Welcome to the program.
Yes, good afternoon.
Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm Precious.
Okay.
You support for MPTC.
Let's hear you, Precious.
I want to say Merry Christmas for our lawmaker and a joyful Happy Year.
Okay.
Yes, I too will join my voice to voices to tell the lawmakers to increase the budget on the education, health, and other things instead of everything will be on that or that. And I also tell them thank you for their hard work. They are really doing well. And people are there to pass laws to find you and to bring you all. I want to appreciate that. It's like everything. I want to appreciate you. So,
Thank you so much.
To this person, hello.
Hello,
Let's hear your name. Where you call from?
I'm Professor Fiju calling from Mambagley.
Great to hear you from Mambagley. Please go ahead.
We are doing Merry Christmas and happy and prosperous year to our lawmaker. I want them to look at security, health, education first. Because if you lack security, the food will go and knock here. And also, you have a culture to that view. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, my dear brother. The lawmakers are listening. Of course, we'll be able to get the transcend to them. We're here on the program. We're squeezing 1-2 more calls here, and we call you a day. 0880514096. Call us to be a part.
Let's talk to this caller. Welcome. Yes, welcome to the program. Let's hear you.
Yes.
What is your name and where you are joining us from? Okay, this caller. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening,
Tupo Road.
Okay, Bobby, it's good to have you on the line. Please go ahead.
This is time to greet our people back there in South Jerusalem of Dr. Bob Chambers. And I want to commend Dr. Chambers for having this program, was doing his administration of this program on ELBC. I want to commend him for that. And I hope this program, as other colleagues said, will continue to roll. And finally, as the chairman for Team 14, I want to use this medium to appeal to the National Election Commission to do all that they can to make sure the case that has to do with the Chambers to be heard. Please, especially his people in Maryland County are waiting. So we from Team 14, the auxiliary group of the CDC as chairman, are once again appealing to NEC to please fast track that Chambers case. Let the Christmas be a great one. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Bobby. That is in there calling us. Thanks a lot for being a part of the conversation. That's all the time we have to be here on the program. We have to wind down the curtains. This is our last edition before the Christmas.
We'll be here.
I mean, before the Christmas. This is our last edition.
Oh, yes.
Christmas is a
okay,
Monday,
yeah.
brother.
We'll be waiting farewell next week.
Christmas, yes. Our last edition of the program for the year will be next week. And next week, Thursday, that's going to be power packed. It's going to be power packed because we'll use the time to list the achievement of the 54th legislature under the stewardship of House Speaker Dr. Beaufort Chambers. As we'll be closing the year, we'll be able to do that so the public gets to know from the 15th of January 2018 up to now, what are those things the legislature, the 54th legislature, was able to achieve and those typical terms as well.
Yeah, so we'll be here on Thursday.
Well, thanks a lot to the management of ELDC and, of course, the LNTV crew who've been streaming us live on their social media platform. It's always awesome to be here. The next time we'll be here on Thursday. Let me use this time to say Merry Christmas to my beautiful wife, my kids, Mwambo Haynes, Ralph Haynes, my new baby, Rapper Haynes.
So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have a new baby now. You know, so Rapper Haynes Jr. is here. Happy Merry Christmas to you. Happy New Year. And to all of you, my friends, members of the Fourth Estate, journalists from all over, we want to also use this time, the Press and Public Affairs Bureau of the House, to extend Merry Christmas. Thank you for all the job you continue to do informing the public about workings for the legislature. Thanks also to ELBC management. My understanding is that on Saturday they're going to be having their awards night. So
the Christmas, the lighting of the Christmas tree is on tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, and they're having their awards night on Saturday. Which all of those who will be taking awards
We'll be winners.
who will be winners. We wish you well. Congratulations. The last time our friend Anthony Williams won an award. So let's hope he'll be able to pick up another one again. Or maybe Steve will be able to grab one and so like that. But congratulations in advance to all of you who will receive your awards on Saturday. Bye bye. Have yourself a wonderful time. My name is Rapper Haynes. Bye bye.